20 amazing inventions we credit the wrong people for. Behind every invention lies a story, but not every story tells the truth. Was it the genius in the spotlight or the quiet mind in the shadows? Today, we peel back the layers of history, challenge the headlines, and ask the question no one dares to answer. Who is the real inventor? Let's dive in. Unmasking the true inventors. Ever used an invention and thought, wow, this person is a genius? It turns out sometimes they're not the ones who deserve the credit. The history of innovation is filled with twisty tales of mistaken identities and misattributions, where the real genius is often left in the shadows. So, let's look at 20 inventions that have their names all wrong and find out who the true masterminds are. Light bulb. Though Thomas Edison is often credited with inventing the light bulb, the creation of electric lighting was actually a collaborative effort. In 1802, Sir Humphrey Davy demonstrated the first form of electric light through his invention. Edison refined the design, but he wasn't the sole creator. Radio. Guglielmo Marconi is the face of radio's invention. However, the truth is that Nikola Tesla made far more impactful contributions to radio technology, including the first radio patent. Marconi, despite his successes, was building on Tesla's earlier designs. Telephone. Remember Alexander Graham Bell? He's famously credited with inventing the telephone, but it was Antonio Meucci who first developed the concept and demonstrated it in 1854, years before Bell. Bell patented the invention, overshadowing Meucci's contributions and leaving his story largely forgotten. Automobile. While Henry Ford made the automobile accessible, it was Carl Benz who truly revolutionized it with the first gas-powered vehicle. In 1885, Benz's creation, the Benz patent motor wagon, became the first practical automobile, proving that invention takes a backseat to history's more famous names. Calculator. Texas Instruments often gets the credit for inventing the calculator, thanks to their handheld device in the 1960s. The real number wizard, though, was Blaise Pascal. In the 1600s, he built a gear-powered machine that handled addition and subtraction like clockwork, literally. Telescope. Galileo's name dominates astronomy books, yet the telescope's true origin traces back to Hans Lippershey. In 1608, the Dutch spectacle maker applied for a patent after creating a device that magnified distant objects. Galileo later refined the concept and turned it toward the stars. X-ray. Wilhelm Röntgen is linked to the discovery of X-rays. However, he wasn't the first to notice the phenomenon. Philip Leonard had already been experimenting with cathode rays passing through glass. Röntgen took it further, capturing the first X-ray image and coining the term that stuck. Flush toilet. Think Sir John Harington invented the flush toilet? That's royal fiction. Long before he impressed Queen Elizabeth I, the Minoans were already flushing like pros in ancient Crete. Their plumbing game was so advanced it would have put modern bathrooms to shame minus the scented candles. Monopoly. Everyone knows Charles Darrow as the genius behind Monopoly, except he wasn't. The real mastermind? Elizabeth Magie. She created the landlord's game in 1903 to highlight the dangers of greedy land ownership. Darrow just added hotels, renamed it, and cashed in like a true capitalist. iPod. Steve Jobs made the iPod famous, though the real brains behind the device was Tony Fadell. He had the concept ready and pitched it around before Apple said yes. Jobs delivered the spotlight moment, yet it was Fadell who built the revolution in your pocket. Graphical User Interface, GUI. Xerox PARC is responsible for creating the first graphical user interface in the 1970s, not Microsoft. Xerox's Alto computer featured windows, icons, and a mouse concepts that laid the groundwork for the future of personal computing. Pencil sharpener. While John Lee Love patented the pencil sharpener in 1897, the idea itself was inspired by earlier designs. The modern handheld pencil sharpener, as we know it, owes its existence to many contributors over time. Still, Love's patent remains the most notable. Helicopter. Most folks salute Igor Sikorsky as the father of the helicopter. Truth is, Paul Cornu beat him to liftoff in 1907 with a twin-rotor contraption in France. Sikorsky made them practical. Cornu proved you could hover before anyone believed it was possible. Super Soaker. Lonnie Johnson is often overshadowed by this toy's commercial success under Hasbro. Johnson, an engineer, patented the water gun in 1989, but it was Hasbro's marketing that made it a household name. His engineering brilliance deserves more credit. Air Conditioning Unit. Willis Carrier created the modern air conditioning system in 1902, though many associate the idea with Frederick M. Jones. Jones did make air conditioning portable. Carrier's system, however, is the one that fundamentally changed how we control indoor climates. Programmable remote controllers. Joseph N. Jackson's 1975 patent for the programmable remote control often gets overlooked in favor of later versions by RCA and other electronics manufacturers. His patent allowed users to control various devices, making his contribution significant despite being overshadowed by bigger names in tech. Elevator. Alexander Miles is credited with inventing the automatic elevator door in 1887, yet he built upon the earlier work of Elisha Otis, who invented the safety mechanism in 1852. Miles' contribution improved elevator safety, making his efforts pivotal in the final product. Computer mouse. Most people click on Steve Jobs or Apple when they think of the computer mouse, though the original design came from Douglas Engelbart in the 1960s. His wooden box with wheels looked nothing like today's slick gadgets. Hence, it changed how humans and machines interact forever. Film camera. Thomas Edison gets all the credit for movie magic, although Louis Le Prince had cameras rolling first. In the 1880s, he filmed real motion before Hollywood even existed. Then he vanished during a train ride, turning film history into a true-life cliffhanger. Printing press. Johannes Gutenberg usually steals the show for inventing the printing press. The real plot twist? Chinese inventor Bai Shang was pressing characters into clay and printing texts 400 years earlier. Movable type had already made its mark in Asia long before Europe joined the publishing party. For any concern, please comment down below.